Hey everybody, this is Brian with BearCards34 coming back with a giveaway video today as well as a shout out. But before I start that, I just want to make a little mention of these two very successful NFL players. Starting off here, Dave Butts and Ray Guy as well. They both passed away recently, both at the age of 72. Dave Butts was a very successful player for the Washington Redskins. He actually started his career as a first-rounder with the St. Louis Cardinals, but from 75 to 88, he played for the Washington Redskins. He was a two-time Super Bowl champ, and his best year was 1983 when he was a first-team All-Pro. He was a member of the 80s All-Decade team, and he's part of the Washington Redskins 70 Greatest Redskins. So here I have his rookie card from 1980, as well as his final card from Topps 1988. And I don't have Ray Guy's rookie card, unfortunately, which you would think as a football card collector who loves the history of the game, Ray Guy is the only punter in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I do have his second year card right here, the 1975 Topps. I really need to get my hands on a 74 Topps one of these days, because I think that would be a great card to have. So Ray Guy, who passed away a day before Dave Butts on November 3rd, he was a first-round draft pick back in 1973. He was the first punter to be selected in the first round, and he's also the first and only punter in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. His card here is his second to last card. That year they also had his 1974 All-Pro card, and they also had a punting leaders card that he also was featured in for that set. And then that's the 1986 Topps card, his final football card as well. He actually was a punter and a kicker in college before being selected by the Raiders. And John Madden once said, and if you know John Madden, you know that this is a great compliment, which is he was a football player who also punted. A football player who punted. And, you know, if you know John Madden and the All Madden teams and Tough Guys and all of that, you know that that's a great compliment to be given. So he had a 7-time Pro Bowl selection career. He was an All-Pro first team 6 times and second team twice. He was a member of the 70s All-Decade team and was also part of the 75th and 100th All-Time team. And the College Football Best Punter Award is named after him as well. So two great players who unfortunately passed away this past week. So just as a reminder for this contest, I just want to appreciate everyone. Well, thank you to everyone who watched the video, but also everyone who commented, whether they were in the drawing or just making a comment. I really appreciate it. So this is what we're looking at for someone to get is these, Jerome Bettis, rookie power prospects, Montana. So we got a few Hall of Famers here, as well as some power prospect rookie cards. And I also am throwing in this Power Combos insert card of Jim Kelly and Frank Reich. And also 3 unopened packs of 1993 Pro Set Power, which is what the, so you'll be getting stuff like this in here. So that is for the giveaway. But before I do that, I just wanted to mention I had a really good weekend. I was able to go to the Utah State University football game over in Logan, Utah. It was freezing cold. The Aggies did win the game, which was really great. Very, very cold, very wet, very windy. The stadium was only about half full, I think partially because of the weather, and it wasn't like a big-name school we were playing either. So things got a little bit cold there, but in the fourth quarter when the rain came down and the leaves were just circling all over the stadium, it was a lot of fun, and the players got really pumped up, the fans got really pumped up, and it was a great game to go to. Football weather for sure.
Presents an honorary gift.
On my list. I did have a little bit of a mail day. One card was a big card, and then this is my little card. But for me, I love this one quite a bit as well. So this is Dalton Kincaid. This is a 2021-22 Bowman U first card, and it's the gold parallel shimmer, numbered out of 50. I'm a big fan of his. We have two tight ends for the University of Utah who are pro prospects, and one of them, Brant Keithy, who was kind of the #1 tight end, went down with a season-ending injury. And so Dalton Kincaid really picked up the slack. And against #7 USC a few weeks ago, Dalton Kincaid had 16 targets, and he had 16 catches for well over 200 yards. It was just an awesome game. Great to see that from him. So very happy to have that card. And the other card that I got is one that I'm really excited about. If you guys remember a while back, if you saw my video, you know that I purchased a Reggie White 1984 Topps USFL card. I bought it ungraded, and when it got to me, I noticed that it was heavily trimmed. I mean, it was a terrible job right down here. So the front of the card, it just kind of had a big uneven trim on that was just terrible. So I was able to return that, and then I picked up this Reggie White that's graded just to feel a little more comfortable about it. I'm trying to complete the Topps USFL sets. I've had the 1985 set for a long time, and I actually got a really good deal on it years and years ago. I think I paid maybe under $40 for it. But the 1984 set I've been hand collecting for a long time. And the last three cards I needed were Reggie White, Jim Kelly, and Herschel Walker. All three of those are pretty expensive cards. The USFL cards were not printed nearly as much as the NFL cards from that period, so they're in high demand. And so I'm happy to have the Reggie Walker, and now I am one card closer. And I'm also looking forward to this because I plan to do a show and tell video for the Topps USFL sets once I have this set completed. And so right here, I was able to pick up this Herschel Walker. This is the 1984 pre-rookie or rookie card of Herschel Walker. It's also in a near mint 7, just like the Reggie White. I don't have to have graded cards. In fact, 99% of my collection is ungraded. However, because of what happened with the Reggie White card, I just wanted to make sure I was getting a legit, untrimmed card. And I feel like I'm paying too much for these. I mean, this card is a great one to have. I had been trying to get this card for a while. I had, put max bids of around $120 on it, and I lost out every time. I put a max bid of $100 on this one and ended up winning it for $94. I still hate paying that much for it, but I'm really happy to have it. I'm excited to have that in my collection now. So I only need the Jim Kelly. So when I find one for the right price, I'll have all of the USFL cards. So I'm pretty excited about that. And Herschel Walker, I mean, he was a great, great football player. I know there's a lot of him in the news these days. I'm in the hobby for the game and the history, so I don't really get too caught up in all of that stuff. But in his career, after winning a Heisman at Georgia, he went on and signed with the Generals. And during the final USFL season of '85, he was the USFL MVP that year. So very happy to have that in my collection as well. Okay, next up, before the giveaway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Vintage Cards Steve. He's a great guy in the community. You guys may already be subscribed to his channel, but if not, I highly recommend you check that out and give him a sub. He has some great videos, and again, he's got the videos that I love most, true collectors, people who really love the cards and the history. He has some really good insight, and he came out with a video the other day that part of the title was, How Do I Manage YouTube? And I just thought that was a really thoughtful, honest response from him. So I'm going to include a link in the description to the YouTube video that he put out the other day. And I think he did a great job of really talking about priorities and, moderating our use, because YouTube is a great thing. The hobby is a great thing. This channel of mine and a lot of the other channels that I watch, including his, it's a great way to just share the hobby with others and people who care. Because, if I show my wife a pickup like the Herschel Walker card that I got or Dalton Kincaid, it's more of a polite, oh, that's nice, as opposed to anything else, or how much was that, right? So it's nice to have fellow people in the community that you can reach out and make some really great friends, which I feel that I've done. So, when it's done the right way and, you're still able to meet your other priorities in life, and you enjoy it just because it's fun and it's a nice break from the real world, I think it can be a great thing when it's done properly. And I thought he had some really good thoughts about that. So definitely check that out. He's a great guy, and I hope you guys enjoy his video as well. Okay, so the giveaway that I did, the specifics for the giveaway were I have 4 of the Pro Set Cinderella Story cards of the 9-card set that they had, and they're pretty rare. I didn't even know they existed for a long time, and so I have 4 of them now. And in the video, the rules were to comment on the video with answering the question of who was your favorite of those 4 Cinderella stories. And so there was a tie for 3rd place, I guess, or 4th place, starting with Jim Plunkett here. So with Jim Plunkett, this is his rookie card back when he was drafted by the Patriots. And so I'll just go ahead and read his story real quick. Capped remarkable Cinderella season in 1980 by being named Super Bowl's most valuable player after leading Raiders to 27-10 victory over Eagles. Originally number 1 draft choice of Patriots in 1971, Plunkett was discarded by New England, who dealt him to San Francisco in 1976, and by the 49ers, who released him before 1978. Picked up by Raiders, but languished on bench for 2+ seasons until starting quarterback Dan Pastorini was injured early in 1980. Plunkett took over struggling team and guided it to 6 consecutive victories and into the playoffs as a wild card participant, then led Raiders to Super Bowl, where they became only wild card team ever to win NFL title. Also led Raiders to a 38-9 victory over Washington in another Super Bowl. So here we are. There is Jim Plunkett. And then coming in as a tie, we've got the Danimal, Dan Hampton himself. And with a tie, Jim Plunkett and Dan Hampton, they each only had 1 vote, but I'm glad they got a vote because, these are great stories as well. And so here's Dan Hampton right here at the end of his career, and then here early on. And so I'll go ahead and read the back of that one as well. It says, Ultimate Survivor walks off field in this picture right here after playing final home game in Bears uniform. 1990 first-round playoff contest against Saints. Excelled in 12 NFL seasons despite total of 10 knee operations. One of only 2 players in Bears' storied history to play in 3 different decades. Sid Luckman was the other. Member of Pro Football Hall of Fame's NFL team of the 80s, named to NFC Pro Bowl team 4 times during that decade. Started 15 regular season games for Bears dominating Super Bowl champions of 1985. Injured knee in 2nd game of 1989 season, but played the rest of the game and following 2 games before going under a 5th arthroscopic surgery on left knee. Months later, had a 5th surgery on right knee, so he'd be able to play 1 more season in 1990. So definitely a for love of the game story there with Dan Hampton, who was just a beast. Great player. Next up, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 1979 Cinderella story. And this right here I showed a while back on a mail day. But this is a Ricky Bell. In fact, that's Ricky Bell right there with the run. And this is a Ricky Bell PSA authentic auto that he did at some time in his short life. And so I'll go ahead and read the Buccaneers team card as well. Losers of first 26 games in franchise history, Buccaneers shed doormat status in 1979 to go 10-6 in regular season and advance to NFC Championship game. Club originated in 1976 and suffered through abysmal opening season, going 0-14 and scoring only 125 points. Second year wasn't much better, as offense could muster only 53 points en route to losing first 12 games. Tampa Bay finally broke into win column with back-to-back victories over the Saints and Cardinals to close 1977. Not even 5-11 season in 1978 hinted at what happened in franchise's 4th year. Tampa Bay won its first 5 games and went on to win NFC Central Division title. Midnight didn't strike on Buccaneers season until NFC title game when Rams kicked 3 field goals to win 9-0. So yeah, quite a great turnaround for this young team at the time, and so happy to have that one as well. And I will mention the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got 3 votes, and so the winner in first place with 9 votes was Tom Dempsey right here. So with Tom Dempsey, I'll go ahead and read his card, and they'll talk about this. This is his record holders card from the, I think, 75 set. Yeah, so Dempsey's 63-yarder, longest in history. And so here's what the back of this card says right here. Born without right hand and without toes on his right foot, Dempsey overcame handicap to become record-setting kicker. Played for 5 teams in his 11-year career. With New Orleans in 1970, he kicked 63-yard field goal, longest in NFL history. Saints trailed Lions 17-16 and had ball in own territory in closing seconds of game. Holder Joe Scapardi lined up at the Saints' 37-yard line. Goalposts were on goal lines then. And Dempsey, who wore hammer-like shoes on deformed foot, booted kick through upright on game's final play to give J.D. Roberts victory in first game as club's head coach. One of last conventional straight-on kickers, Dempsey played for the Saints in 69 and 70, Eagles 71-74, Rams 75-76, and Oilers 77, and Bills 78-79. So again, we've got 3 really great Cinderella stories. There are a handful more out there with the Pro Set cards. Hopefully one day I'll have those ones as well. But anyway, really happy to have those for the collection, and I appreciate everybody who took time to vote on those. All right, so I go the old school way. I get my Utah Jazz cap out, and here we go. We'll have that right here. I will show you who is in the giveaway, and we'll see who wins. So first up, we've got Don Luca, who voted for Jim Plunkett. Then we got Dylan Ray, voted for Dan Hampton. Very nice. We got Ed from Angry Old Man, who voted for the 79 bucks. And I will say a lot of these guys have channels of their own, and they're fantastic. So, you know, definitely check those out as well. Raider Fan JB, 79 bucks. Jacob Thurich. And Jacob, I may have said your last name wrong, so I apologize, but Jacob picked the 79 bucks as well. Then we've got Kaysen, 2006, picked Tom Dempsey. Cardwolf, CW, Tom Dempsey as well. CW is from my neck of the woods. Always nice to get him participating. So Zach and Porter, they don't do the giveaways, but Zach did mention that Porter is, and I knew this, he's a very big fan of special teams. So Porter's vote would go to Tom Dempsey. So they won't be included in that, but they do have a great channel. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. One of my favorite channels for sure. Speaking of great channels, Fabian over in France, undrafted player, he also picked Tom Dempsey. And another guy in my neck of the woods, Card Cash, also has a great channel. I don't think he's put any videos up recently, but hopefully we'll see some from him soon. But definitely check out the ones he's got up there. They're quite great. So yeah, Tom Dempsey for Card Cash. Steeler Card 7, Tom Dempsey as well. Big Steelers fan. Check out his channel too. Cash and Dad Pack Busters also picked Tom Dempsey. And I'll tell you what, their opening song gets stuck in my head sometimes. I'm not going to lie. All right. God is great. Just a very friendly guy. Great guy in the community. So I had also picked up an Eric Weddle card, and he has his own Cinderella story. And so he mentioned that his first would actually be Weddle. And I'm with him. That was a great story. Coming out of 2 years of retirement to win a Super Bowl after not even practicing and jumping into the playoffs. But he said of the Pro Set cards, Tom Dempsey. Great pick there. And then Wax Pack Dad. I think he opened some 1980, like a 1980 football rack pack with 3 packs in it the other day that I loved seeing that. So Wax Pack Dad picked Tom Dempsey as well. All right, so they're all in here. I'm going to just kind of shake them all up. I'll kind of stir the hand. And here we go. All right. And the winner is... Oh, hey, there we go. Dylan Ray. Dan Hampton. Very cool. So, Dylan, if you see this video, be sure to get a hold of me. I have an Instagram account. I admit I don't use it nearly as much as I should, but I will definitely check that out. So, in the description, I'll put a link to my Instagram account. If you want to send me your address, I can mail out the winnings for you right here. So, thank you everyone who participated, and congratulations to Dylan for his win in the giveaway. All right, that'll do it for today. Like I said, I'm very, very happy to have picked up this Herschel Walker card for my USFL collection. So crossing my fingers I can find a decent Jim Kelly one of these days for a price that I can afford. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more videos in the near future. And as always, even though they had a rough game today against the Dolphins, almost won, go Bears.